bollard and chain that gets located along the edge right in front of the western building, adjacent to the roundabout, as well as the other frontages at the roundabout. This is something that's not currently shown on the submitted landscape plans that we submitted to the town recently. Something that recently has been in discussions with the Seeing Eye in terms of providing an added level of edge and detail within the streetscape to help facilitate that. You're also seeing lane marker, which is similar to the treatment at the McCulloch Ave at the center of that roadway, where it's the concrete with the Belgian block incorporated in there. You'll also catch glimpses of the Morristown Partnership streetlight that is located along the frontage, and I'll share a lighting plan in a bit.
I just wanted to reiterate as we're looking at this particular slide that we did meet with the Seeing Eye, and because they have a training operation in Morristown, they really like the idea of a roundabout because they can use it as part of their training. And they specifically asked to incorporate the bollards so that people have a guide post as they're going around the roundabout to get to the crossing. So that's how that whole conversation developed. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No problem. So next we're going to move over to this crossing right here, which is crossing Morris. So here, essentially, just kind of to our back, towards the right is the existing Dunkin' Donuts. You're seeing the striped crosswalk, the detectable warning, a closer image of that bollard and chain. As I indicated, it's not shown on the landscape plan, but the idea would be to select a spec of a bollard that really complements the street lights, the Morristown Partnership style street light, which we will do. You're seeing the pedestrian crossing signal, and then as the building steps back, where the seating plaza space is. Now just similar location, just pulling that vantage point up a little bit higher, looking into that seating plaza, providing the pedestrian access where the island is, again, so having an area of refuge right over here, continue the crossing, the bollard and chain. These are those, the couple of trees that I indicated, the 7 trees that maybe we switch out from the honey locust, and then you're seeing that one existing honey locust larger right off to the right-hand side. So now we've gone back up. This is still the 3D model, but we're looking at it in plan view, so you're seeing a bit of a perspective on the building. And what this is showing is just pedestrian circulation as one would circulate around the roundabout on the various frontages. It also indicates 4 locations where there are pedestrian crossings, crossing the street. And then we have also highlighted where the different kinds of signals are. And you will hear testimony on that from the traffic engineer related to rapid flashing beacon or the Hawk style overhead pedestrian crossing. The other thing that this graphic indicates in green are some locations where there is a depressed curb. The depressed curb allows a cyclist who may be proceeding into the roundabout to pull off of the road, dismount from their bicycle, and walk the same way that a pedestrian is walking, and then get back and slip back into the vehicular cartway as and make on their way. So that's again, it's identified. All those locations are identified in that green, and then the bicyclist movement identified in the green check mark as they make their way back into the car.
I'd just say that the traffic expert will be discussing the functionality, the use of that ramp. Mr. Carmen is just pointing it out as a part of the landscape design of the curb, the crest curb aspect. But our traffic expert will be testifying on
So our next slide here, we're moving in towards, we kind of did that crossing, right? You're seeing a person walking their bike along the sidewalk. Here's where the sidewalk transitioned to 10 feet. So although it's 10 feet, still plenty of comfortable pedestrian circulation area. You're seeing how we're incorporating some colored concrete to take off on the building architecture, and then using some architectural pavers as rugs to further define some of these spaces. Seeing the partnership, Morristown Partnership streetlight, and then the street trees continuing down. A view from kind of at the traffic island you see here. You're seeing that Belgian block kind of cobble treatment in the as the lane divider. Looking back at the architecture, you're seeing where the covered portion of the architecture is. You're seeing that canopy that you'll get greater detail from the architect on. And then some ornamental grass planting, but right in this location right here, certainly this is access to gain to walk below that canopy, and as Spring Street starts to slope down, this creates an ADA accessible route to gain access into the front of the retail building. So now we will move towards this the West Plaza. So as what I was indicating right here, this is where it's an on-grade access. Spring Street is sloping down towards the intersection below. And so we do have a few steps that gain access to this covered walkway area. And then where the retail plaza or terrace space expands out further, you're seeing some broad steps over here as well. Sidewalk certainly opening up, and then we've got that 10-foot wide sidewalk that continues down. And then as we make the turn, the sidewalk continuing along our frontage is 6 foot. That was an item that did ask for some clarification.